What is up, amigos? It's your boy Jonathan Rodriguez, and today I'm gonna give you some tips about transportation in Bolivia and also how to get from the airport to La Paz City or anywhere in La Paz. So let's do it. Alright, first of all, you're in the airport and you are about to cross immigration. Once you cross immigration, I just have to let you know that if you want to come to La Paz City, especially if you are a US citizen or any other kind of citizen, you're gonna need a visa. One way to deal with this visa is to whichever country you come from, you go to the consulate of Bolivia and get a visa. Otherwise, when you get to Bolivia, there will be a special place they will direct you where you can buy the visa. Normally the visa will last you like for 90 days or something like that. It pretty much depends, but it will range between $100 to $150, maybe even more. I'm not really sure about that, but yeah. So once you pass through immigration, you're gonna see a place where you can change your money, like the currency from whatever country you come from to Bolivians. I will highly suggest you to use that place because if you're coming from an international flight, as much as I know, international flights only arrive at La Paz at around 4 a.m., between 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. I don't know why it's so late, but you're not gonna find any other place to change your money more than around immigration. So once you change your money, you should be fine for the rest of your trip or for whatever time frame you decided to stay in La Paz. Cool. So you already passed through immigration, you already changed your money to Bolivianos, and now you need to go to the hostel you're staying or the place you're staying. All right, and this is the thing, especially if you arrive around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in La Paz, there is not gonna be any kind of transportation other than cabs, like taxis. Maybe there's gonna be a minibus or something like that, but I'm not really sure at that time if they're working, if they're going, but you're gonna see a lot of cabs. So you have two options. Either if you're staying in a hotel, they will send a shuttle to the airport to pick you up, or you're gonna have cabs. So now the cabs to take you to the middle of the city, of La Paz City, like the Midtown area, it will cost you between 60 Bolivianos to more than 75 Bolivianos, maybe 80 Bolivianos, but I wouldn't pay more for that. And this is the thing, because they can see that you are not from here. Some of them might try to charge you even more because you know you are a foreigner and you don't know what it is. But just keep in mind that that should be the range that they should be charging. Like normally there is going to be two types of taxis. One is taxi, like a regular cab that is a taxi, and another one is called radio taxi, that is basically a cab or a taxi owned by a company. If it's a regular cab or taxi, it's really up to the driver, like how much that person will charge you. But if you are with a radio taxi, that is basically a cab that is privatized by a company, they will call to the center, to the company, and they will tell them how much to charge them, and then you will listen how much they're going to estimate the amount of money from you, from the airport to Midtown La Paz. So this is the thing. You are in El Alto, that is kind of like another state, and then next to it is La Paz City, but the airport is in El Alto. So therefore, from El Alto airport to the Midtown area, it's going to be around 30 minutes or 40. So it's not that far from the city, the airport, right? So also around that time, like 3, 4 a.m., I wouldn't suggest you to explore La Paz or anything because it might be dangerous. There are some places that you shouldn't be around that time, but I'm only telling you that by experience because when I arrived to La Paz, I arrived at 4 a.m. I was trying to figure out if there is other flights like around day or afternoon, but apparently they only have international flights around between 2 a.m. to like 4 a.m. Maybe 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. Which, to be honest, I don't understand why they only had flights from like 1 a.m. to like 4 a.m. Like they should have it throughout the day, but I guess that's only for international flights. But anyway, okay, so you're already at your place and it's the next day and stuff like that. So now we're going to talk about transportation. And the first kind of transportation I want to talk about is the micro, that is basically a bus, like a really, really big bus. Now, the micro, the price to go anywhere in La Paz, it's or El Alto if you decide to go there. It's 1 Bolivian and 50 cents. Okay. So basically, what you have to do is like pay attention and read all the places that they are going, because normally like there are like main areas where they go, and maybe the place where you're trying to go is gonna pass through there. So the best advice I can give you is like once you get into the micro or the really big bus, is you ask to the driver like, hey, I want to go to this place, do you pass through there or not? Most of the time they're going to tell you like, yeah, you can take this one, I will let you know where to get off, or they will tell you, no, you should get out and go to another bus, this number or this letter. It pretty much depends, right? I wouldn't really suggest you to take a micro or like the big bus, because okay, if you are taller than 5'7", and that will be like 160 centimeters, a little bit taller, you're gonna have a hard time. Because for example, me, I took it, and it was kind of like really uncomfortable, because like I'm 6 foot, so that will be like 183 centimeters or something like that. when I went in and I was standing up, I was basically like this the whole trip, and it was really uncomfortable. So yeah, I try to avoid those, but if you are shorter than that, sure, take it. The second type of transportation I would like to talk about is called a minibus. That's what they call it. That it will be basically a bus and a small. I think they can fit like around 15 to 12 passengers. I don't know very well the specific, but basically those are the same, but they're gonna have like all the places that the minibus goes through. So you do the same. You just ask the driver like, hey, I'm going to this place, will you be able to take me there or not? And then they will let you know like, yeah, we pass through there, we're gonna let you know when we're around that area or not. So when that happens, they will let you know to get off or take another one, you know. Now, in some of these minibuses in El Alto or La Paz City, there is normally like the driver, and also there is somebody who is younger, and they call it a vocero. And basically the vocero is the one that yells what places they are going. Like for example, if you're planning to go to the Midtown area, they're gonna say that we're going to the Midtown and the lower part or whatever, you know. Now, I realized that throughout the time they are disappearing, they don't have anymore, but normally they are also the ones that charge you the fee for the transportation. So normally when you take this kind of transportations, it costs 2 Bolivianos. So when you take this kind of transportation, it costs 2 Bolivianos. The good thing is that you're always going to have a place to sit. And also if you are too tall, in some of them you will be able to fit. Like I told you guys before, I'm 6 foot. So with minibuses, I didn't have any problem. Everything was fine, you know? But yeah. Now, the third kind of transportation that is basically the most common, and maybe you guys will use it, is called the taxi or red taxi. Now, this is the thing. The taxi or red taxi, they don't have a set price. The taxi that doesn't have any company brand in their car or whatever, they are pretty much in charge of what they charge, you know? So it's up to them how much they're going to charge you going from point A to point B, right? But if you took a radio taxi that it basically always have like a company logo and stuff on the cabs, it depends on the company owner how much they're gonna charge you. And normally you will be able to hear it because they have like a big radio, and they're gonna ask like from point A to point B how much is your charge, and then they're gonna say the number, and then they will tell you, you know. That basically, you know, like there is a lot of bargaining here, like with the cabs. You just have to try to be friendly, try to tell them like, hey, can you take me to this place if you want to go cheaper and stuff like that. But normally the prices will range all the way from 6 Bolivians until 100 Bolivians, depending of where you're going, you know. But they are really reliable and they are everywhere. Now the other kind of transportation, I think they will be the fourth kind of transportation. Wait, let me see my notes because I have it here. The other kind of transportation would be the one that I like the most. That is basically, and I think this is the last kind of transportation. No, actually, there are two more. But the Teleferico. Now, the Teleferico, it basically costs 3 Bolivians to go in, and it can take you anywhere. It's like a subway. It's the subway that Lapaz could never have, but it's on the air because basically, uh, this one they have lines. The only thing is that in some parts you cannot transfer over to other lines, so you have to pay double, but it's pretty rare. What I love about the Teleferico is that you are able to see everything in La Paz City. So it's like the perfect way to see the city, like really cheap, because you're all the time in the air. You can see the Illimani Mountains, you can see the city, like you can take photos, like that place is amazing. Especially if you are not scared of heights or anything like that, you will have a good time. Like most of the time, basically all the time that I was there, I was always wanted to take the Teleferico to move to other places, so I can just see, take photos, videos, have a nice view, because it was amazing. I loved it. So if you're not scared of heights, I advise you to take it because you're gonna have an amazing time. Like you will be able to see everything from the city, and even at night. At night is beautiful because you're gonna see like all the buildings with the lights. You know, it's fascinating. And there's two more transportations, but this one is not really important, but also an option. It's called Trophy. So basically, the Trophy is like a taxi, but it's not a taxi, because in this one you can say like it's like an Uber pool, because basically you share with other people, and the only difference is like this taxi has a specific route where they're going. I think the price is like 3 Bolivians or even a little bit more depending where you go, but the good thing is that these ones go way faster because it doesn't have a stop everywhere. It just have some few stops, you know. But yeah, and the last one that it will be called the Wine Bus. And the Wine Bus, you're gonna pay 1 Bolivian and 50 cents, I believe, in the Midtown area, and maybe in other places a little bit higher, max 2 Bolivians, but I don't think so. But anyway, those are like the really advanced buses that are really big. Like if you are even 2 meters height or even more, you will be able to fit in, because like those are for any kind of people, and they are really technological. So basically you have two types, like the driver, and you don't pay to this driver, you pay to the other person that is going to be next to it, that they're going to charge you like to the ticket to get in, you know. Because in the other one, like the minibus, you're going to pay to the driver. The micro, you're going to pay to the driver. The trophy, you're going to pay to the driver. And the taxi and the ride taxi, you're going to pay to the driver. But in the wine bus, you pay to their partner. He or she is the only one in charge with the money and stuff and transactions. But yeah, those are amazing. And the wine bus has specific stops. Now, something I forgot to tell you about that. The wine bus and the Teleferico, they have specific stops when you can get off. Now the minibus, they don't have specific stops, so you can always tell them where you want to get off. Normally, don't tell them to get off in the middle of the block. Normally do it in the corners. When he's about to reach another corner, you can tell them like, hey, can you stop at the end of this block? They will be able to stop. Don't do it at the middle, because it's like, they can stop, but people don't do that. Normally we always end at the end of the block, so we can stop, so he can stop and we can get out. Now the cabs, the taxi and the ready taxi, they will take you wherever you want, like they're gonna stop, you know? But yeah. So those are the tips to move in La Paz. I hope it really helps, and that's pretty much it. So what I learned from this is that always pay attention to the places where the drivers are going. Ask the driver like, hey, I want to go here. Can you let me know if I can take this transportation, or should I take another one? They most of the time, basically all the time, they're gonna tell you, no, you should take this other one, and sometimes even passengers tell you like, no, you should take this one. The people there in La Paz, they're really friendly, especially when they notice that you're not from here, to foreigners, they always be willing to help them. But also, be careful, don't trust everyone. Always be, with your eyes open to whatever happens. But yeah, That's all you need to know about transportation in La Paz. I hope it really helps. The end is coming for this trip in Bolivia. I had an amazing time, and yeah, we'll go somewhere else soon. Pretty soon you will see. But yeah, anyway guys, I hope you like this video. Subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, share with your friends. Also, if you're subscribed, hit the notification button. Or if you want to subscribe, you should do it. There's so many places that we're gonna go. But yeah, thanks for the support. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see you next week. Cool.